The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
There it is. You tuned into the Farron Dozier Show on nbradio.us, TikTok edition, and Life Force Sports. Catch me here Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, only on nbradio.us. Shout out. How did I do? Was that a good take? That might work. All right. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Farron Dozier Show right here on MB Radio. That's right, Military Broadcast Radio Network. Make sure you check us out at mbradio.us. Check out all the other podcast talk shows here from our fellow brothers and sisters at arms. Another episode. This will be the final segment number 4 around the mental toughness, mental health, men's mental health, all that stuff we've been talking about all month long. I got Big Dre with me today, so I'm actually going to involve him in the conversation today because as we wrap up these last few days of men's mental health awareness, I just want to cover some questions with him and see his perspective, his views, see where he's coming from with these topics and these ideas. So make sure you stay tuned for that. What else? Where do we start? Let's go ABA. So the ABA, the American Basketball Association, we have 3 teams. We're keeping in season this year the Inland Empire Hounds. So go to IEHounds.com, or you can go to farrond.com and click on the IE Hounds there. We're rebuilding the website. We're going to have a new state-of-the-art, more sophisticated website for the season coming up. Our campaign is called For the Love of Dogs. So if you are in the area or out of the area and you want to share your story about your relationship with your pet, your dog, please join the campaign. If you are a breeder, all the way to a grief counselor. We're looking for partners. We're looking for community members, those that foster dogs, organizations that support our dog community. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity to share our platform, share your business with us, get some exposure, brand with us if you choose to advertise with us as well. But the Inland Empire Hounds, that conversation is personal to me. As I share about my dog, my boxer, Daisy, who I had to put down a couple of years back. And I'm ready to share that story. I'm ready to heal that area. And so what better way to do that is to get the community involved. I know I'm not the only one who's had to either put down their dog or lost their pet. And then some of y'all have replaced them. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet as far as getting another dog. So I'm willing to do my part around this as far as sharing my story. Definitely the grief conversation around the dogs are so important. It's like they're like family members for a lot of us. So how we view those dogs as our people, as our loved ones, as our family members. So if you have a story, so you want to tell, you want to share about your experience with your pet, dog, whatever breed, whatever type, whatever story, you can engage with us. IEHounds.com. That is For the Love of Dogs. So I'll be in the community looking for relationships with businesses, organizations, giving y'all free tickets to come to the game. If you want to be a vendor at the game, you want to do the concessions for us, we have some booth space that we're going to create for you to set up and collect those funds for your organization, and while supporting us with our chase to the ABA championship. Last season, we were number 10 out of 150 teams. I think they got 170 now. But last year, the IA Hounds was number 10, made it to number 5. And just I don't know what happened. I don't know how to describe the last couple of games of the season. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. We was on our way to the division championship, and we lost that one. So, but yeah, join that. But it's not just for the love of dogs with the IE Hounds. Of course, I have my sickle cell trait talk connected to there. Of course, we have our veterans and youth suicide. We're going to do some basketball camps. We want the community involved. Bring your business. You know, we're looking for 20 businesses to 40 businesses to be a part of our platform for our to help support our travels, our food, our referee fees, gym fees. There's a lot of fees that it costs to own the team, and so if you want to be a part of that, I know you've been to Dodger Stadium, all the different sports arenas. They have those Bank of America banners and all those signage. We're looking for our signage to be a part of our team. So if you want to be a part and brand with us, make sure you hit us up, iehounds.com, or you can go to marketing at iehounds.com or contact at iehounds.com, or just hit me up at Farron Dozier or at the Instagram at iehoundsaba. That's what's coming up for that part of the conversation. Sickle cell trait talks. I got some stuff coming up in July in Las Vegas. My partner DBC, aka Jody, we're going to be traveling to Nevada to do a talk with a sorority, and I got a talk with, I believe it's going to be July. Another thing in July, early July, before that one, with the Drew Medical Center. Going to be doing a talk with them in person. Finally, I did a couple of them over the internet via computer, but this year they asked me to come in person. So with that one, I should talk with the residents that are about to go to their locations to treat patients. Some are going to VA hospitals, some are going to community hospitals. So I share from the veteran perspective, from the sickle cell trait perspective, those kind of conversations to kind of get them related to us around what we deal with as veterans and how you treat us. You know, there's a lot of things that goes on inside that medical world. And so we want those new students becoming doctors to get firsthand information from some of us who can share, effectively articulate some of the conversations. So that's coming up for July. What else? I think that's it right now. I'm going to play this PSA, come back and bring up Big Dre. This last segment about men's mental health. It relates to me personally because it's about being vulnerable. And I made a decision at 14 that I was not going to be vulnerable, especially with women. I was not going to be vulnerable with men and women. It turned out to be. And so how does that play out in life when you are no longer a vulnerable person, when you're not open to share, what's going on in life or just be connected to people? What is that? So we're going to find out. We're going to talk about that coming up next. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Farron Dozier Show on nbradio.us. Make sure you catch me Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 10:50 a.m. I'm over there Sunday nights. This Sunday night, we're going to do a wordplay segment. So the word is rain. Rain is the word. So my question is, what does rain mean to you? What does that actually mean? There's a lot of songs that use that word rain. I Can't Stand the Rain by Missy Elliott. Blame It on the Rain. What else? There's a whole bunch of songs. What does that mean to you when you're speaking about rain? What does that look like for you? Are you describing some emotional? There's another couple songs out there we're going to talk about on the show Sunday night at 8 p.m. The Farron Dozier Show. That segment is going to be wordplay. Again, thanks for listening in. Shout out Southwest account. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh,
too,
man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. Do you know the facts that if both parents have sickle cell trait, there's a 50% chance the child may have the trait and 25% chance the child may have the disease?
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org. All right, I do want to mention that the other 2 teams for the ABA, the Ventura County Orcas, they are not in season this year. Also, the brand new team that will be the first season next year, hopefully, will be the Riverside County Mavericks. They are not in this season as well, but we are going to be looking for players, again, in the community for partnerships so that we can start to cultivate those relationships this year, so that we can prepare for next season to launch those 2 teams. So the goal is to have 3 teams in the ABA next season with the Ventura County Orcas out in Ventura County, of course, by Oxnard. Then we got the Riverside County Mavericks, which is Riverside, California. And then, of course, the Inland Empire Hounds out here in San Bernardino County. So we got 3 counties. So if you are players, you're players and you want to play, or you either basketball players or you play basketball, we'll determine which one. Make sure you stay connected to those 2 teams. If you're in those areas, you can feel free to hit us up. Go to farrond.com. You'll see the 3 teams listed there. Click on the team you're looking forward to being a part of, and then there's a space where you can send an email, all right, to show, send us some information about your background and things like that. So what else real quick? I don't consider myself an author. That is another identity that I'm fighting, but I have written 3 inspirational reads: The Life of a 2-Year-Old, Disconnected with Love, The Life of a 5-Year-Old, My Perception of My Father, and The Life of an 8-Year-Old, The Latchkey Kid of 1978. I'm going to start preparing those to have some events, whether they're going to be over the computer or in person, but I'm ready to start to share those 3 inspirational reads. Those actually talk about my relationship with my parents, first off. So a lot of times these conversations we're having about men's mental health and all this mental health awareness stuff, we got to get to the root of some of those conversations. And a lot of those conversations, if we tell the truth, are deeply rooted between the 2 most important people in our life. And that is our parents, our mother and father. And sometimes mom and dad, we are not parents. And these are the talks that we have to have as children to our parents, so that us as children can begin to heal whatever those upsets or disappointments or shames or embarrassments or whatever those emotions came from that are connected to our parents. We got to have those talks. And if you have figured out how to heal from your parents, we want you to share that too, right? I'm not saying that everybody has an issue with their mom and dad, but if you tell the truth, just listen to how people talk. Listen to how people describe their parents, their mom and dad. And then you can hear if there's an issue, if there's a fracture, or a disconnect from that parent. Of course, publicly, we're not going to say I don't like my mom or dad. We're not going to say that publicly. Or some do. I've been around some basketball players, man, they was talking so bad about their own father, bro. I was like, wow, that's how you talk about your dad? So either way, I'm going to be launching those conversations. You can go to farrond.com, look for The Life of a, and you can go there and get some information there. The Life of a, that has all the different lists of the series. I got 10 total. I'm working on the life of a 6-year-old that's reading with the ruler. That one is another peer fracture early on in the 2nd grade. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that one. I'm almost done with that one. So men's mental health. Let's get right into it. I got my guy Big Dre down there, but before I do that, let me play this real quick so y'all.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Cannot let them get a direct pass.
What's up, man?
All right, what's up, man?
Hey, yo, I'm just.
Oh, you went mute. You went on mute. What happened? Where you at? Got Big Dre. He's over there on mute. Where you go? Oh, he just dropped out. We'll wait for Big Dre to come back. So today's topic, I broke this up into 4 segments, and this last segment is titled "The Voice of Vulnerability." What does that look like? To be vulnerable. What does that look like? What is that? I got something on my cheek. What is that? I'm on my. I can see myself over here. This is live. This is what happens when you live. But yeah, the voice of vulnerability. I want to talk about that because for me, that I don't even like to use that word anymore. Vulnerable. Like that word does not give me any kind of power, any kind of strength. I do not like the word vulnerable, and all that I'll talk about later on came up from a decision from a 14-year-old little 9th grader, right? A 9th grade decision had me say that to myself, that I will not be vulnerable. You got any I'm nots? A lot of us have a whole lot of different I'm nots. It only takes one, right? So let me see, Big Dre. You ready? You ready, Big Dre?
I'm ready, man.
All right, what's happening?
I had some difficulty to who I am. I wasn't ready.
You wasn't ready?
I wasn't ready, man. I make my grand entrance again, man. I said today is Wednesday. I'm supposed to have my facial yesterday, but I had to go back and get it today.
Oh, you missed it yesterday?
Yeah, I had to push it back today because the wife had me up in the middle of nowhere and found there doing some things I shouldn't have been doing. But, I had to go see my boy. Shout out to my boy, Questa Hammer Nails. We had a great time Saturday. Before we start this, thank you for all my veterans, men and women who have served. What's going on right now in the world is crazy right now. And I can imagine their mental state they're in now. The ones who are on pins and needles, wondering if we're going to do some ground stuff or not. Just those guys and those bombers, you was probably at home, when you probably on the base, on an air base, like 48 hours ago before it happened. You get a phone call. Hey Tom, we're gonna do a 5-to-5 mission. So it's highly classified. What?
Yeah.
He almost had a beer in his hand. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, you can't do it, Tom. Why? Man, you gotta go. You don't call, man. Pentagon call of weight. And there, you just imagine what's going through their mental.
Can't even, bro.
You can't even imagine. People out there saying, "Well, I couldn't picture it." Even the old pilots couldn't evaluate what the new version of the guy in the B-52 is going through. Back in World War II, it was a little bit different than it is now. They didn't have all the radar. They couldn't fly on the radar back in World War II. They couldn't fly on the radar. These guys flew a mission. They said, how many planes were 18 went undetected through Russian airspace and China. That's what scares Russia and China right now. That's what scares them right now. Undetected. If y'all know what the word mean, they was scarce. No one knew where they was. You were like Marco Polo. Boom. that was all about. So it's just
that's some serious technology right there, bro.
So that's showing them the big dogs over there. Maybe America do have some stuff we don't know about. Because you see how big a B-52 is, and like a small little bat, it's a couple of 3 or 4 houses put together, maybe 5 or 6 houses put together, and it got through all your radars. So it makes you wonder, Wow. And we're in praying times now, and that's mentally on everybody in the world. What's going on? So mental state for me, man, means how do I attack my mental? How do I improve my mental?
Yeah.
And I ask myself every day, sometimes just relax. Like we got that facial, and Fed says, "So where's my boy Farron? Man, he get the relaxation." I said, "I'm waiting for him to come. He can be going When I walk in there, it's like, man. I mean, their energy there. All the people work there. They phenomenal, man. The guys are. Shout out my boy Darius, who did my facial. Great dude out of Jacksonville. Single dad. Great individual. But we can't wait to see what he gonna do and how he gonna do it. But he I didn't know he was an armed guy. He did the security his own self back in the day. But he's for there full time, and he did a great job. So
That's good.
shout out to my boy over at Hammer Nails. Really, really, we had a great time Saturday. We had technical difficulties started, but it was perfect timing for it. It was on God's time. When you got there, it was on God's time. It went perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
And shout out to my sponsors who gave us our liquor, California Distillery, my boy Billy. Man, they went nuts over it. They still talking about it. Now my boy hit me up, said we need more. As I told you. So we're gonna do it, man. But it was great. It was great, man. But yeah, like I say, my mentor for me, I had a service dog when I was 7 years old before I even called them service dogs.
Oh,
my
wow.
dog name, we had a golden retriever by the name of Missy. Her name was Missy. And then we had Socks was the father. And Missy and Socks had 4 lads. And there was a red looking color labs, and we are lucky to have 1 chocolate lab, which is very rare to have 4 red and 1 chocolate. And we call it Chocolate Smokey Joe. He's a little runt, but he got older. He was beating the other ones up, boy. Putting paw hands on them. Bam, bam, So it was like my mother say, that little chocolate, little Smokey Joe attached to me. And I was like a little runt in my family, little skinny macaroni and cheese sandwich brother, like JJ on Good Times. And Smokey Joe attached to me. And it was like, when I cried, he would walk up to me and then lay on my foot.
Wow.
I get mad, he'd lay on my foot. He was like, no bigger than this right here, man. Itty bitty one. Just lay on my foot and just go to sleep. And I just started feeding him. Mother didn't want that much to do with him. Missy didn't. So I kept him and raised him myself. And when I got 2 years later, he a good size now. And you couldn't even speak me the wrong way. Right? My own mother could say, boy, I'll whoop your... I ain't do nothing to you. I'll let you sit up there and do what you got to do. Because Smokey Joe ready to get it.
Wow.
He's going to get it in. Smokey Joe said, okay, bring it. But I taught him how to, respect, my mom and dad and the family member. Don't you, And he was like, it took care of my mental. It made me more of a calmer. I had asthma real bad as a kid. And the dog, he would come there, he just put his paw on me and just lay on me. Mm-hmm. And I was just, he'd breathe. He had these deep breaths, and I would start breathing like him. Before I knew it, I was controlling my asthma. My mom thought it was weird. She said, well, this boy turned into a dog. My son turned into a dog. I want to lay in the dog house and hang out with the dog all the time. And she said, oh, you can't be in the dog house. No. I want to hang out there. The dog. That's why he be my best friend. But I think that dog saved me from having mental breakdown as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call them service dogs. He did me a service.
Yeah.
So that's my doggy story, man. It was great, and I love them dogs, man. I missed my golden retriever. Now I buy like number chocolate labs now, So that's what I like. But that's what it is. But yeah, what you going through, you saying being mental health month, the things we go through as veterans, and we try to deal with and what's really driving me crazy now, the clicking. My girl got a habit of not putting her seatbelt on. And people out there, by putting seatbelts on, my girl don't like it. I'm gonna put her on blast. She don't like putting seatbelts on.
I don't like seatbelts either.
It is a ding ding noise.
Oh, that part.
It makes you want to fight somebody and throw a jab, an uppercut, as a boxing. Ding. Poo, 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 poo.
Now wait, now you got a smoke detector beep. You got a smoke detector beeping on your end.
Yeah, and I'm like, I done took the battery out and still doing it.
Well, yeah, you gotta put a battery in there.
Yeah, no, put one. That's it. I put a battery in there and it stopped right, then it started up again.
Oh no!
I'm about to tear the house.
You must have used the old 9 volt.
We finna move. My sister moving out. I'm moving back towards that way anyway. I said, let a ding ding. I don't get she ding ding now, but that ding ding on that car.
But the car one, you don't like the car one.
Man, it go ding ding ding.
It doesn't stop at all.
No. And then here's the weird thing about it: you have automatic start right in my car. You know how it is. You take the keys out, it's going to alert you that the key's not in the car.
Yeah.
And my girl tried to take and go into the bank and left me in the car. Oh my God.
And that was beeping
the whole time. She in there about 20 minutes. The PTSD kicked in. I had to go outside and start circling around the parking lot. I'm in Lancaster, 130 degrees. I was there. A big old circle, man. So PTSD kicked in. I was just shadow boxing. Oh my God, man, it was crazy. But
that's funny.
I knew I've never had that problem with that till I got, into that lifestyle. But I know mental is deep. I don't know what they call it mental. So I guess it was men have mental. I guess.
It's a lot, and I appreciate you for sharing and hoping this part of the conversation you can be willing to open and share just kind of where you are. I'm gonna share where I'm at too, but I got a couple of questions, and I want you to get your response from these questions. So the first question is, why silence is the enemy of healing? Why is silence the enemy of healing?
Well, when you go silence, to me, it's like going stealth. When you go stealth and don't have an understanding why you're going stealth, but the reason you're going stealth is to not be seen or heard. And sometimes mental health, I think, blocks our neurological part of your brain, the nerve part of your brain. When you go silent, people make you real mad. You get real mad, you go silent. That's what I do. Yeah. And I'm a more talkative Negro on the planet. But when you mess around and get me on my last mental, people say, oh God, Dre got quiet. Somebody about to get hurt, jaw about to get broke, elbow to the face, cry chop to the throat. Something about to happen because he got quiet. And to me, being mental was the understanding of why am I mental, the disturbed about what people talk about me, they say about me. That hurts my soul when people do men wrong for no reason. I mean, women be doing men wrong when it comes to child support and everything else. And don't give us a chance to prove ourselves. So when I get quiet, to me, quiet is golden to me. That's why I do it.
Thank you for that. And is that a negative or a positive? Or both?
It can go both. It's sweet both ways to me. One minute I'm smiling, that's like bubble boy. But sometimes it's more of a positive to me to understand it keep me out of jail. Sometimes going quiet, keep you out of jail, keep you out of hell.
Yeah.
And they keep you out of places you thought you wanted to go to, but thank God you didn't do by saying something. So that's why I say, I'm good.
For me, thank you. It was all emotional. I think but today I could probably sit in silence and not have it be a negative. But for the most part, for me, what I discovered for myself is that's where shame grows, in that silence. Right. So I was dealing with a lot of shame. That's where those lies get a little bit louder because you're talking to yourself. Because now you're talking about you think you silent, but that voice is really like, you know what you know you shouldn't do that. You know how look at you, look at what you did. Look at you,
yes, sir.
Like all of that chatter when your mouth is closed. I'm talking about that voice right there. For me, that voice, I thought that voice was me. I thought that voice was Farron. Yeah. And when that voice said something or told me to do something, I did it because that's what I was living from that inner voice, because it was, of course, keeping me safe. But for me, it was that shame. It was that reminding me of all the stuff that I wasn't good enough, that you're not. That's why this happened. This is why this is going that way, because of how you are being with people. Right. And it became a prisoner in my own mind. I wrote some things down. Being silent too long is not healthy for me. It wasn't healthy. That's where it triggered stress. It triggered broken relationships. It triggered sickness. So there's a lot of things that when you start to internalize those thoughts, those negative thoughts, especially, they can lead down some very
dark roads,
even unhealthy. Like people don't realize that stress can make you sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talk about we're made of chemicals already. So if you got free radicals and all that acidic body, that stuff turns into chemicals and cancers. White cells, create a lot of cancer cells, and then different health issues. So for me, that was the biggest thing is that internal dialogue that was for me disempowering. I had a disempowering context to myself about myself. And that was the biggest part that didn't allow me to really, love myself. Not more than just people, but it's more of a protective, a defensive mechanism to keep me safe. But it was really hurting me, my silence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I think we as a people, men and women, we accolade ourselves of understanding when you do the silent part of being a mentally, I call it stirred or mentally dialing out, what I call it. When you mentally dial out sometime, you ever get yourself be in your car sometime and you just go in a different trance for like 15, 20 seconds. You go in a trance when your childhood kicks in. You see somebody's child doing something, say, damn, I remember when I used to do that.
Right.
You look away, then you come back to where you are, sir, on your next. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in line waiting on the cash out in line or something. And I get home and say, I remember when I was like 8 years old, we cannot run into the store, grabbing things off the shelf, jumping in the back of the basket while the food's in there. It was like you got snacks to the side and go into the bathroom and come back with a different look in your face.
Oh, right, that part.
Yeah, I'm like, who child that crying? Anybody crying? What you mean? My mother. My mother be come on moving her wig around. She done beat the brakes off her wig flipping. She come on moving the wig. Anybody crying? What you talking about? Anybody? You anybody crying? I'm holding my butt, rubbing my butt. She ate me up with a switch, and that's how you get a switch in how you get a switch in church, a little small part. How you get a whole branch inside of it? I mean, in a bag in the store. So the old saying was, boy, don't have me jump back there and do some many parents be driving. Don't have me come back in the back seat.
Oh yeah.
And you would try their mental. I want to see you try. You drive it. When I said one time I got bold, someone said, go ahead, Drake, challenge her. Go ahead, challenge her. So I said, I'm a challenger. Yeah, go on, woman. Go on, try to jump back while we driving. She said, she put her aside. Oh, I forgot about that part.
I forgot you could stop the car. Huh?
Car, yeah. If when your mental kick in, like at that moment, you know you're screwed up. There's a voice coming in, and there was. But like you say, it's silence. Sometimes is the best way.
Yeah.
To make yourself understand. Our generation of kids. What if all these people who are protesting would have went silent? You ask yourself that. Think about what they all one day, what happened to their parents or their friends, and just went silent and just show what instead of them going to the streets, showing something different, maybe through social media or banning on your favorite restaurants. Don't go to certain places. Don't go to work. Make them feel it financially.
That's where the change is right there, bro. I believe it. I believe that would be.
That's where the mental would have came in that because it's just, I call it the mental shakedown. Oh yeah, you gonna mess with me? I'm gonna shake you down. I'm gonna call you no wetback, no Mexican, no nigga, no. I'm gonna get you with the pocketbooks. I won't go to your store no more. So you said, well, where you going? No, I'm just going to this store. I'm going down that store to get them half-dead burritos. the burrito with a name I can't pronounce.
Right.
John Smith. Where did John Smith burritos come from? From Alabama. Who makes
Alabama?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what I look at like that.
All right, I appreciate that. That's a good. I like that approach. I think a lot of sit downs would be better and more effective, as you said. To me, would be best. All right, this one here. I really don't have an answer to this one. Maybe you might, in your generation, you're a little bit older than me. But I guess the question, how I can phrase this question is, why are men or children taught to hide rather than heal?
Ooh.
What is, because I'm looking at my life, right? And I have a hard time answering that question because I don't know who I could say taught me to hide my emotions versus well, definitely there was no healing going on for sure. I can tell you that part. But I can't say that there was a experience that I remember that had me learn how to hide my feelings and pretend like I was okay. I don't know. I think that was a natural, automatic human brain function.
You hit a bone on that one, man. You had me.
Right? I don't know.
I gotta pray on this one for me. Give me
how are men taught to hide rather than heal? I don't know. I can't.
Let me clear my throat.
You got one?
Oh my God!
You got one?
Yes, I got a doozy for you. And
okay.
It's almost a tearjerker for us. It may make you shed a tear inside. You gotta be outside.
Okay.
Me and my father had the best relationship. We did. Me and my dad was hardworking truck driver, drove trucks, Mississippi born, 1935 era. Oldest of 9 siblings, but his father was a traveler warrior. He had the background of masonry in him, a 33 and a third masonry high up the ranking. Killed a man who was 19 years old and got off with an all-white jury.
Oh wow.
Mississippi. When the judge saw that ring and that mannerism, he knew, okay, no, you strike that last thing. You didn't see nothing. all white jury. And he's not guilty. He was defending himself. No, the dude called my father, nigga, my father shot him. Wow. My grandfather shot him. My father used to always tell me, don't be a troublemaker. Just be quiet. My father was very humble, very quiet, never cursed, but always had bashful, like my grandmother, his mother. Very bashful, and we just never had a great relationship. I'm very athletic, very sporty. My whole family was. He never came to one of our baseball games, basketball, soccer, softball, nothing.
Nothing.
Well, see, my mama come. She bring all the auntie, the embarrassed out there, child, hit my baby and beat you down with a stick. Together. Oh, God, the mama coming? No, good. Because last time I was in football, I got hit. She come on the field and grab my helmet off. You ain't playing no more, baby. That's just hurt too much, my baby. Embarrassed me for all my friends. I said, who did it tell you? They say, little mama's boy, mama's boy. Mama say to my baby, get out, I'll beat you down. So, but my father was never, the mental breakdown there, my father was never there. So me being the healing part of it, when I finally let it open up and let him come to a game, I go off rebound and come down awkward and mess my knee up. I said, man, you need to stay home, Pop. Don't come no more. Stay home. So then he come to a baseball game, I get hit with a 92-mile-an-hour clip right in my chin when he come to the game. So you got to go out and you sit down. It wasn't like I knew he was there, but my presence knew he was there. So he threw a high ball. I wasn't fast enough to move. I went and clapped my helmet, and I saw some little donkeys for 6 months, black donkeys with little jerry curls. I saw 6 months. But it was like my mental was messed up because it was a block of me. My friend kept saying it's because imaginary friend knows your father's there, but he's not there. Mm-hmm. So you're going to always think, is he in the audience? And your mom go call it for like 30 seconds. That's enough you get hurt, not pay attention.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, my sister went through that. She went through averaging 30 points a game. Cheryl Miller played against Cheryl Miller at Riverside Poly. She played against Cheryl. Cheryl hit 62, my sister hit 42. And they still won by 35, Cheryl did. Cheryl Miller was a beast. Wow. She's better than Reggie Miller was. And it was like, she was talking about mental stuff too. She had a mental episode because, being a superstar, how are you better than your brother? She had to deal with her father saying, your brother Reggie's good, but how are you dealing with it? So she was going through the same thing my sister going through. My sister did the same thing. My father, he see my father come again, my sister get hurt. She did spin move and ACL. My father comes. So we were like, what is it? Is it an omen myth of my father being around us? So how do we deal with this? So we had to go, like I say, we had to go ghost protocol. We didn't want my father. We were lie. You got a game in a week? I'm gonna try to come. No, we ain't got one. Lie my butt off. No, we got a game that Friday. We have to be there Friday. No, I said, Mom, Dad can't come to that game. He got bad luck omen on him. What? And my father found out he wasn't athletic. Farron, my aunties had scholarships in basketball and stuff growing up. I had 2 twin aunties, Maisie and Daisy, Science Kyle's. My Aunt Daisy, rest of her soul, they was ball players, Alcorn State scholarships, basketball. Then my aunt Juanita, basketball, all-star, Alcorn State. They was ballers. So my sister couldn't help but be ballers. We couldn't use their blood. But they parents never came to see them play. And they always said, what is it about us? are we good enough to please our parents? And the mental just sits in. And it sets in. It's a generational curse for me. And I broke the curse because I came to my sons athletes and they never got hurt because I was supportive of it. I supported what they was doing. I cared. I got involved in the game. Oh no, he got fouled. But my father was there. He just sat there. What's a home run? That kind of thing. It was just my
Hey,
mentor.
I believe it. I believe it. You said the word. Not am I good enough? Not good enough. Those are things that we talk to ourselves about, man. That really, really silently, emotionally destroy us. They destroy us, and I can't even imagine. Like you're saying, you're playing your sport, and your dad doesn't usually show up, but you're hoping one day is he there?
Yep. Not paying attention, not knowing, just hoping one day he will in your mind. And that 1 second he comes, never happens. You lose all focus.
Now that's for me. That's what I learned from the military. I tell that story that when I joined the service, we were taught that you can't daydream about where your family, your girlfriend is at home, what your people doing at home, your friends at home, because if you're out on the battlefield, or you could get your whole squad killed daydreaming.
Oh yeah, daydreaming.
Right,
Boom.
And I was so emotionally already fractured from my environment. That was like, oh, I could do that. I could shut off. And
the world?
So
oh my God.
Bro, I could shut you off in a hot second, bro, like the ice box.
None.
Close, right? And so you say it that way. I didn't think about it as in the athlete perspective of wondering if, but you see it in movies, you see it in a lot of stuff where they're wondering their dad is in the audience, like
until as soon as they come, you can't think straight. You're trying to figure this thing out.
Oh my God!
I taught myself how to shut it off. And my anger towards my father, like, get away, get away from me. He comes out and then picking me up, and the crowd is cheering. I'm walking on my own, but a lot of pain. I told my father, get away from me. My trainer says, well, he don't want you to go in the locker room. My father just said, he sat there with his head down and he walks out. I had to talk to my dad for 6 months. I was mentally messed up. My mother said, he said, why he don't talk to me? It wasn't my fault. And my mother said, it is your fault. Because when you're not working on the truck, you only work 4 days on, 3 days off. So how are you not going to see you? And your kids play from Thursday to Saturday most times. So there's no excuse why you wasn't going. But just like, he's wanted to be in a GTO car. He had a red GTO, kid ever red, mint condition, fully loaded. He's wanted to ride in the GTO all the time. That's what he wanted to do. So
I believe a lot of people, if they told the truth, that's a common experience. Because again, we talk about and we teach from the aspect that the child needs our time as parents, as a mother and father. The child needs, and they don't care about your job. They don't care about no stuff. They care about where you at and why your presence. Not the gifts presence, but your presence.
Your human being
there,
presence.
That presence. So I agree with that. That could definitely be one that could get in the way. It just takes one. Just takes that one. All right, let's talk about this one real quick. So, what true strength looks like when it's backed by honesty? What does that look like?
True strength looks like backed by honesty.
Yeah, when it's backed by honesty.
Well, truth to me, it means trying to figure out where your mental stands, how much you can take mentally or physically, and then poke your chest out and you get guys from up above. Tell guys to teach you how to be humble. That's how I think what stands with me. That's how it works for me. For years, it worked with that for me. I just take my chest and say, look, God, peace be still. Humble me. And it works for me that way.
I didn't understand this one until I was 40. I didn't start my journey until I was 40, bro. And I learned I had to be honest with myself first. And when I could be honest with myself first, and I challenged those truths that I thought were true about myself, then I realized that they weren't the truth. They were true,
Bingo.
but they weren't the truth. And by me being honest with myself and saying, okay, I made up those stories and they're not the truth, I was able to let my story go.
Exactly.
And by letting my story go, allowed me to be honest about my life and about my past. And that was the space where the healing was available.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was able to tell the truth to myself. I was able to look at those stories and realize that those stories just wasn't what I thought. I only had part of the story. So to me, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself first. If you can't be honest with yourself first, then who can you be honest with?
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Because I look like this, the parents sometimes can knock your mental down so bad. And because sometimes parents don't understand. Sometimes parents may have had you at a young age and they mental is already fucked up. So how's the young mom and daddy going to teach you how to be when you're only 17, 18 and you had yourself? So basically, when you're 1 year old, your mama only 18. So when you get 18, your mama just barely get 36. So she's still in her prime. She wants to still want to party and stuff and get there. And you up there like, I'm 18, mom, but yeah, I'm 35. Well, your friend like, damn, mom, what you have in when I was 17? So mama and daddy still, got
still they were still babies. They were still I'm 55. I was 55 trying to figure out what it is to be an adult at 55, bro.
I mean, who you? I was like saying, do I got Similac on my breath? Or do I got a little bit of little vitamin D on my breath? Which one
I don't know about Similac, but I know I'm just saying in my frame of mind, after healing, doing the work the last 15 years, a lot of my life opened up to be peaceful because I realized that voice that we were talking about earlier was giving me some bad information, telling me some bad stuff, some disempowering stuff about myself that just wasn't true about myself. And I believe that that's where the work is, because then at that point, those past experiences become stories, and now you're not triggered by them. I'm okay.
Oh yeah, all day, every day. Because I think that, true. Because see, to me, a lot of mental breakdowns when it comes to athletes. I have my friends, pro athletes, basketball players. They had the same childhood problem with their parents. It wasn't the prime example was Tom Marinovich. His father, Marv. I used to work with Marv Marinovich. Marv had Cal 5 Sports back in the Hilton back in the early 90s. He had a whole workout gym at the Hilton in Anaheim. The whole thing. He had Tom Marinovich. His father like, my son was one of the best lefty football quarterbacks you ever go to see. And Todd trying to be a big bust because he was trying so hard to please his father. His mental just shut down. He started doing drugs. So I'm working at a place called the Oakwood Apartments at the time in Malibu on South. And I'm at South Gate. We have gates, private gates, security. I'm on the South Gate part, and guess what? It's this white guy high in front of our gate. I'm like, who the heck is that? Who is that? It's Tom Marinovich. He was on something. It was crazy. And it was just weird to me. It was just really, really bad. And I said, let me do my thing. Everything. We have a guest who want to come on named Javon Riz about mental. Javon, his son is going to be NBA superstar in the draft next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was talking the mental stuff he's going through a lot,
Okay.
having members of the military.
I'll bring him back up when he shows up again. He just went out.
Okay. And I said to myself, you're gonna sit there and tell me that it's hard being superstars in this world. You imagine what LeBron was going through when he had his mama. What up, Jay?
And we don't talk about that part. We talk about his mama, but
man,
where's dad at? You can't tell me he ain't got no issues with his dad.
And you got a brother out here, Javon. He's a current bodyguard in the game with me, celebrity bodyguard.
How you doing, sir? How you doing? Welcome.
I'm good.
This boy Farron Dozier, and he's been a father, a future NBA star. What the mental accolades is. Make sure you don't get hurt. He played ball overseas. Tell me about yourself, Javon.
Yeah, I played basketball for 10 years in Belgium, 1 year in China, coming out of college. So, I've been around the world, And I trained my son. He wanted to play ball. I didn't want to force him to do it. But when he was young, I asked him, when he like 6 years old, will you be a doctor, a lawyer, a fireman? I want to play professional basketball like my daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to train you.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I give him, because I already seen it. I've been there. I give him what he needs to get to that level. I know what it's all about, man. So
it's a mental.
I just told him, you just got to keep working, be positive, and everybody you speak to, keep that connection, because everybody you get is a relationship. Anything you do in life is a relationship. So I said, once you get to the NBA next year, you gonna have relationships that you had back in high school, players, coaches that's gonna look out for you to get you in. Because there's a lot of players that can play. Always, there's a lot of good players on the street. Like he said, did drugs. That was the top player in the world. But what happened? Pressure and they got guidance.
Yeah,
it's all about guidance. So
it's a mentorship. You mentor your son. He got to be your best friend. He got to be your son. Your kids need to be our best friends. So they're not our best friends. Mentor the adult or parent. It's hard to save your kids from destruction.
Right.
Javon, I got a question for you, man. We got a sports segment as well. Sports Selected TV, media, and radio, and we have a segment called Chasing Hoop Dream.
Okay.
You said for yourself you played ball overseas.
Yes.
We've heard and we've had guest players talk about their overseas experience on how like you gotta work to keep your spot over there, or you would be sent home.
Oh yeah. See me, I know how to play the game. I was always, like you said, you gotta know how to talk to people, build relationships. So every year in Belgium, I was so good. I fired my agent. I didn't need him no more because I knew every owner of the team. Because after the season, I stayed 2 weeks and signed with a new team. I watched the playoffs. Because every team, if we was losing the playoffs, I just stayed 2 weeks in May, and then I signed. They give me a ticket. I go home and come back. So every year I got a new team, made more money, and everybody liked me. Then I stuck with this last team for 5 years.
Wow.
Because why? The community loved me. After the game, they used to ask me, Javon, why all Americans not like you? They don't talk to us. They go home, they to themselves, they put their earphones on and leave. I said, that's why they fire them. That's why they fire them, because they scored 30 points a game, but you're not sociable. You don't
You're
talk
not
to them.
sociable.
After the game, they want to drink, because after the game, they drink with you. Beer, wine, and you get it free.
Socialize. They want to socialize.
Right. So I was a socialized daddy. Like Dre tell you, I talk to everybody. Real personal with people. So I built relationships where I was so good that I even got me a citizenship over there. And people say, how did you do that?
No way. What?
People ask me, how did you do that without marrying a Belgian girl? I said, I don't believe in marrying to get papers, bro.
Yeah,
if you're going to get them, you work and you get your papers. That's what I do.
Wow.
And I went over there and played basketball after 6 years, because after 5 years, you could ask for nationality. They denied me the first time. What I did, I had a friend that knew the prime minister. We used to go to his prime minister's house, and he was in his underwear. And she told him the situation. And he said, Javon got denied. He's American. He pays taxes. Why would they deny him? He made one call. The next 3 months they put me on, I didn't have to speak French or nothing. They gave my nationality.
Boom. Shut the front door with a sack of pigs. Bam!
Yeah. So I'm like, now I'm Belgian. I'm not American player no more. So I'm better than Belgium.
So you better than, so you in.
Right. So they going to pay me more. And I ain't got to worry about I got to score 30 no more, because the other American on the team, he got to do it. For every year, he don't do that. See, I was doing that a year.
That's legit.
But I had relationships. And I told my agent, hey, man, I don't need you no more. You making money, and I'm the one talking. I don't need. I'm fired. And they said he was still trying to get money. I said, don't pay him. Do not pay him.
Javon, your boy got 2-3 teams, ABA teams. He owns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got 3 ABA teams: Ventura County Orcas, Riverside County Mavericks, and the Inland Empire Hounds.
Yeah, I heard of Riverside Mavericks. Like you were saying, Cheryl Miller, I got a relationship with her because my son, do the clothing line with the kids. I got the Reeds, #1 player in the nation, and his sister #4 in high school. She's 11th grade. They going to USC. So when I said, "Dang man, this is crazy," Cheryl Miller, he mentioned her. I didn't know Dre knew Cheryl Miller back in the day.
Oh yeah, my son played against her, man, at Riverside Poly.
So you gotta come to the event. You and him, August.
Oh
we
yeah,
doing for the kids' day clothing line. Cheryl Miller gonna be there.
Yes,
Javon, I want to say what you point to about how you were able to socialize and be personable.
Right.
That's the missing piece for a lot of people, man.
How
can you be that kind when you have all these things going on in your head? I'm not good enough. I'm not worth it. I'm not this. I'm not smart enough.
Because why? A lot of people don't put God first. If you got God, you can do all things, brother. And it says in the Bible. Like I just beat cancer for the 3rd time. They took it out behind my aorta, my blood vessel. I took out 3 tumors just now and made it through, brother.
Yeah,
God is good. Amen. That's why I tell you, man.
That's why I've been calling him, man. Make sure he's good.
Yeah. So look at me. I'm looking healthy, man.
Yep.
Even better
Bodyguard Hall of Fame. He got inducted last year in the Hall of Fame. And there it is, man. So we all inducted. I got inducted the first year. He got in the 3rd year. So it's like we've been there. We would do mental. Being in security is mental. That's mental, man. You can get to that.
It's all mental. I never had one fight because I know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
I tell people like this. One time I was in a bar. I used to work the bar back in the day. So the guys was getting a fight. So I went over there and broke it up. I said, look, man, you want to stay or you want to go to jail? Or you want these bodyguards to throw you out and you don't want to fight and get beat down? Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to have a good time? Or you want to come up to it? He said, no, I want to have a good time. I said, so you go over there and stand and drink and he stay at the bar. Y'all stay away from each other. And that's what happened. And then they appreciate me. Because I said, what happened is y'all drunk, the alcohol take over. So y'all want to be He-Man and be bad boys in front of your girls. It don't work like that, brother. And then they relax because they got common sense. Do you want to be in jail for the weekend? Do you really want to go to jail? Or you can't want to have a good time? They thought about that.
Record, man. You got to spend your record for no reason or over girl. Or if you get killed, somebody just shot a bouncer at a club just last night. Big old Latino brother shot and killed him. He got into somebody and dude walked away. I didn't walk, but it didn't happen.
Because I tell people when you do that, you don't know what they do when they go back to the car. They come back to you. Oh, okay, now you want to talk something? I'm shoot you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's the wrong way.
Jonathan, I want to say, let's go back to that part about God. I got to say this part because, that character that you point to for me is Christ's character. We call that the fruit, the beatitude, God's attributes, the Holy Spirit's attributes. Those will allow you to treat people. Well, you got to treat yourself kind first.
Right.
You treat yourself kind first, then you can give that kindness away, right? And I appreciate you saying that because me on my spiritual journey right now, the last 6 years, that's what I've been studying. I didn't want to study Christ's miracles.
Right.
I wanted to see his character, how he treated people, and that's what we're supposed to be.
That's exactly what
looking at his character, not just his miracles. Right. And so a lot of people don't realize that that's the battle of the mind, is because you were born in that sin nature, and we got shame and embarrassment. All that stuff is going to come up naturally.
Right. And that's why you beat it, like you said, your character. And then when I had a friend, I never forget, he's my friend Dozier. Man, one time he said, Javon, how do you do that, man? You connect with white people. I can't work with white people. I said, what you mean? Because he grew up in the hood, and he never been outside of LA. He never been nowhere but Vegas.
Yeah, he's never been out of the country. So
And I was like, hey, I said, dude, my whole life, my mom sent me to Lakewood. She got me out the hood. I didn't go to Linwood High. She made me go to Lakewood, so I grew up around mixed cultures. Then I went to Europe and China, grew up around, when I was an adult, around mixed. So I learned. There's nothing wrong. They people, man.
They people first, man. They're people first. That's what people don't get.
They're taught to hate us. They taught to hate us. We don't hate them. They're taught to hate us. We ain't taught to hate them. We're not.
So then when he told me that, I said, you scared to do security for white people? and to this day,
he's 6'6".
And I won't tell you a lie. this boy still works for only black security
old people. And he
yep.
he won
he's supposed to be making top dollar, but he's making $18.
Tell him how tall he is.
He's 6'8", 6'9".
Oh my God!
Yeah,
this dude is built like Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
he should be making real money, like
1,000 a week, 2,000 a week, 3,000 a week. Should be making right now.
That's that limited mentality you're talking about, man. That's
limited mental, unlimited mentality. I call it mental, unlimited mentality. I call it MFC. Mental underrated mentality. What it is, because no one cares. They underrate themselves. When you get mentally scared, you underrate yourself. Your ability to do things, so you can't do nothing. But when you go to interview, they always tell you stand, keep your posture good. Speak when you're supposed to be spoken to. Make sure you artistic when it comes to your word. Make sure you say the right kind of words at the right time to ask you questions, and answer every question thoroughly and clearly all the way through. And people can't do it nowadays. It's a mental block.
See, Dre got the same character like me. He got guy first in life, and he speaks to everybody. Everybody loves him like me. When we light up the room, wherever we go. Real talk, people just really
we be killing it, bro. We be killing it.
We just know how to talk.
What in the hell you pull out now? How you got these ambassadors? You got these secretaries calling y'all and all kind of stuff.
He went and got his citizenship over there. We're talking about
Bam!
Like, hey, man.
And just imagine we leave now. Do all the stuff you're going now, he's still probably going to get citizen somewhere else. And they say, well, no, Americans ain't gonna know it right now. I guarantee you, if Javon left tomorrow to go to Belgium somewhere, we can come back citizenship in Belgium. Because we ain't get that. I ain't get that to nobody in Belgium. So why should you hate me, my president? He's an individual. I'm an individual.
Right.
It's amazing. So yeah,
Javon,
you can tell God.
Javon, you know, you said your son has an opportunity to go to the next level of basketball.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier that he was like, "Don't you want to do something else?"
Right. When he was 6 years old, I said, "Man, what you want to do in life? Fireman, police officer, lawyer, doctor. What you want to do?" He said, "No, Daddy, I'm going to play basketball professional like you." He said, "That's 6 years old, man." Well, he meant to play.
How do you feel today, looking back at that 6-year-old with that dream?
Well, like I tell Dre and I tell everybody, you got to prophesy, like God said. You got to put in persistence, man. And that's what happened. I spoke on it since he was a kid. I told everybody he's going to Bishop Gorman. He went to Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas. I said he's going to college. I said I don't know what college, but then he's going pro. And everything he hit, so far, he was the #1 player coming out of high school. He went to college. Now, after this year, he got an opportunity to get the MVP of an HBCU black school. I'm the one. He asked me, "Daddy, you think I should go to an all-black school?" Because he's been to all white school. I said, "Yeah, man, try it. You never know." You know, Reggie Theus is over there, which is a pro coach, an ex-basketball player, legend.
Oh yeah, legend.
And he got connection once again. Connection.
Yeah,
he went over here. Reggie Theus is like his uncle. We love him.
Yeah, he killed
so now he told everybody that the team they got next year, they should win and go to the tournament, and Daniel should get the MVP of the league. He get MVP of the league. They do what they're supposed to do. Go to March Madness, knock off a big guy. Hey, he go to the combine, do what he's supposed to do. He a top 10 pick.
Yeah. Now, you know the weird thing about that? His spin move is better than Shaq's spin move.
Oh,
I mean, I'm serious. It is better. Shaq, I'm sure Shaq and saw and said, "Oh my God, boy got a spin move." His rhythm is so smooth that he handled the ball well. He got big man. Well, I told your son 6'7"?
No, he's 6'8.5", 6'9".
Yeah, he's taller than that. I'm like, we babies compared to them. I'm only 6'4".
He got it honest. He got it honest.
Yeah, got honest. I mean, he's so.
And it's funny Dre say that because people used to call me Baby Shaq. I used to do that spin move. That was my perfection move, and he got it. Genetics, man. He got all my moves.
You know, Shaq. I was watching Shaq talk to his son Sharif, man, and he told Sharif, "We don't need another basketball player, bro.
So don't.
What?
We don't need one." But Shaq also was able to say that when his son had that heart surgery, he was scared to death for his son. So I could see being a father.
Why he don't want to.
Fear of, hey, you ain't gotta play no ball, bro. You ain't gotta put your
look. That's the same situation with LeBron James saying, you ain't gotta play
Right?
ball.
Both of them, you gotta play. You gotta play. Why
You
you
got
playing?
billions, man. You want to work for me? I get you a job. Work for me, the company. Come on.
Yeah,
Man.
but what?
And I know Sharif and Shaq when that situation happened.
Yeah.
I coached Sharif at Windward, so I know him
Oh,
personally.
wow.
So
Yeah.
when all that happened, I was there, Shiny and all that. Yeah, man.
But
I
think
told
about
him, man, you shouldn't play no more. But he
Yeah,
wanted to play, and
Yes.
Shaq, and I told him, man, you don't need to play no more, man. Your
And
daddy, come on, bro.
and what Shaq told us, he told every last one of them, you need college
The college degree if you want to work for me.
college degree.
And he said two.
Two of them.
He want two of them.
He want
He
two.
said you don't have to play basketball. Well, I did that for the family.
Yeah.
Now y'all need to be lawyers, whatever, doctors. And his
His daughter-
son, he went back to school, Sharif,
Yeah.
and now he got Sharif working for him with his
Yeah.
company, which he signed with Adidas. You know, he got the Adidas. I mean,
Yeah.
not Adidas, but
Reebok.
Reebok.
They run Reebok now.
And guess who vice president of Reebok? Allen Iverson, AI.
Yeah, Allen Iverson. Yeah, him and Allen Iverson.
And he got the girl Angie Reese and he got what's the other girl? Adidas got picked up Candace Parker. He tried to get Candace, but Adidas got her. But I heard he wants Cheryl Miller to oversee operations at Reebok. Reebok's a nice shoe.
Right. Yeah.
You know his boy Tony, right? Chicago one, the boy, the brother, be his best friend. Now I've been on Chicago. I've been on him for at least 25 years.
He been with Shaq for years. He used to be at the house, at the game.
Never. He would if ever. Shaq has some cars. One day he said he at home, and Shaq forgot he brought a car.
Right.
House with the car. He loaded. He said, "Mr. O'Neal, you left a car. How old? About a year ago."
Wow.
And Tony said, he said, well, I got mine. So Tony steals a cyber truck. It's a cyber, Hummer. He said, where you go, man? Well, I went down to the store. He went down to my truck. Man, you got another one. What you mean? You got another car? What truck? He had another one that he didn't know he had.
Wow.
You delivered to him. So when you have friendships like that, your mental is like, I have real friends. Shaq say his daddy taught him to have a real friend is to stop complaining about the old things you've done. That's your mental state. Father ex-military, big drill sergeant, Army. And his real daddy came back in life. He says, okay, you had me, but you wasn't with me.
Yeah.
You can see me, but my real father is who just passed away was Sergeant. And Sarge was. So that's my real daddy. So, he stepped up when you didn't.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Javon, I want to ask you, us as the relatedness between military and athletes are very similar.
Right.
We talk about the identity crisis, right? You've been playing ball for almost 5 years old and up. And you make it to those next levels. What was your transition like when it was time to put those tennis shoes on the shelf, or did you ever put them on the shelf?
Well, my transition was this. My son, I told him the story. I came back because I wanted to be a black father, because they always talk about black fathers and not in their kids' life.
Yeah.
So I said, when my kid turned 5, I'm coming back to the States, walk him to elementary, take pictures with him, and be in his life, a real father. And that's what I've done. My son even asked me, Daddy, why did you give up your basketball career at 35? Because I wanted to make sure you were straight. Because a lot of black men, like when we came up, my daddy died when I was 19. Okay, and then back in that time, academic, like he said, a lot of people on crack cocaine. They only raised by their mama. A man can't be a man unless they got a man.
Yep.
My mom can do so much.
Yep.
So when I was there, I taught him. Even today, he asked me questions. He called me today. Yo, Daddy, what you think about me next year with the training? Who should I choose? I said, I'll get that for you. You worry about just playing basketball. I'm gonna get you a top NBA trainer with Young Money. I signed it with Young Money. So Lil Wayne Company, they his agent. So I'm gonna get him the top trainer. I talk to the main dude, Elijah, all the time. I say, look, when the season's over, hey, you do the finish your school online the last month. So March, the combine is the beginning of May. So you finished like March Madness, the middle of March. So you really got to middle of April and then 2 weeks, and then you start combine. You have to perform in that. So you want to have the top trainer every day 5 days a week, grinding. And I said, you should stay in Chicago with a combine so you get used to the atmosphere of the weather. He didn't understand. He said, oh, I can go back to Vegas training. No. You want to know when you're going to be playing the atmosphere in Chicago is different the weather than being in Vegas, that dry desert.
So who you want to play for? Who you want to play for? Who do you want to play for?
He said, well, I told him, I advised him 3 teams, which right now is perfect. That's why I say God is good, man. Look, the Lakers, LeBron is leaving next year. After you know him and the whole Laker team gonna be broke up because they signed Magic Johnson and the Dodgers now.
Yeah, Dodgers bought him. Yeah.
So only one gonna stay is Luka.
Yeah.
They getting rid of all of them and bringing some youth in. Yeah. All the teams are getting young now. Look at OKC. Young. Everybody 23, 24.
Oldest guy like 26. Right now. Oldest one's like 28.
Yeah. So what they doing now? They looking into the youth. Who coming? Like right now, you see the draft song. Cooper Flag. They're about to do it right now. So next year, he could be a top 10 pick. And I told him the perfect team would be the Lakers and the Clippers. The Clippers is old too. Harden about to go. Kyrie Irving. Kawhi Leonard. He injured all the time. He old.
Yeah.
The Clippers got to bring in youth now. So you come in at the perfect time.
The rebuilding stage.
The Lakers, the Clippers, and the Golden State Warriors. All 3 California teams are old. Steph Curry just injured himself. He done. He ain't gonna be able to move like that no more. He ain't gonna be able to run like he used to around the corner. Like he get open and shoot the 3. So first of all, you got to remember he only 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
Right.
So for him to shoot on people is because he moves. He gets away from them because he's a hell of a shooter. But when you can't get away from him, you got to 6'9", you got to shoot over. They're either gonna block his shot or it's gonna make it harder for him to shoot. And then Draymond Green is finished. He's been done for 3 years. So now his contract is up after this year. He signed for a 2-year, $200 million. So he did last year. So I said, man, you know how many opportunities God gave you now? All these teams are looking for new players because they're getting rid of all these old. They retiring. And that's the perfect of it. He could be LA. If you imagine if he played for the Clippers or the Lakers.
Oh yeah. I could because the new arena is unbelievable.
No. Do you understand? Because with Dre, all the connections we got, the only thing that me and Dre always miss was the money. The building.
I'm saying, and see, anybody who watched this right here, y'all got about $100 million. I dare y'all to give me about $2 million that money.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We'll
whatever you and Dre want to do, if I sign my contract, my bonus is gonna be $2 million. I'll give y'all the money, whatever y'all want to do.
Period. Wow. Yeah, we got some things for the house. I got the shoe line. We design his own shoe line.
That's what I'm saying. Shoe line. I got Cali Strong.
Yep.
Man.
Wow. I love that Cali Strong. I can't wait to I'm leaving for Vegas.
Cali Strong. I'm gonna open up a store in Vegas. They gonna give me all the clothes. All I need is the money to buy the store and pay the rent every month.
That's it. That's it.
So yeah, everything is falling in place, brother. That's why I say God said it wasn't time for me to go.
Nope.
Got things to do.
Got things to do. And to speak to that, Javon, you know, I advocate for the sickle cell trait and sickle cell community, man.
Right.
And as I've become this youth minister and speaker at church,
right,
those afflictions that you're pointing to draw us closer to God.
Yeah.
The world has opinions about our illnesses and stuff, but what does the word say about that? And
now let me tell you one thing. What you just said is what I do. This is what happened. Dre will tell you. 4 years ago, when I first diagnosed with cancer, what I do? I gave up meat. I said I'm gonna start eating what God say in the Bible to eat. Eat plants. Eat plants what He put on this earth that God made for us, and herbs. And that's what I do.
What you do?
And drink water. I get pure water.
Yeah.
I go get the mountain water. I don't mess with this worldly eating this meat. They putting steroids and all these preservatives in the meat. They killing people.
Killing.
So I've been growing my own garden, but when I officially get my house, move in Vegas, because my house is almost paid off, I'm gonna just grow my own garden and eat from the garden. I would never go to a store again. And that's what what the Bible says. The Bible says, eat what I gave y'all.
Eat what I gave
I provided this for y'all to eat.
There's a scripture that says eat fish with scales,
right?
But it doesn't say why. But when you look at it, it's like the mercury is killing us.
Yeah.
But what we
And
eat,
this is
catfish,
why,
shrimp, and all the stuff that ain't got
that's
no
why I
fin.
tell people, if you gonna eat fish, do like my cousins. They live in Alaska. They got a lake. They fish, get their own fish, cook it, skin it, cook it, eat it right there. That's organic.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
the stuff in the store. They
And,
like,
and,
okay,
you know what?
how long you been on?
And
Been
guess
out
what?
3 weeks before they killed it. Talking about organic.
And
When you know when something dies, the ragamuffins come in. You better eat it quick or it's gonna be not good to eat.
You know, the cleanest.
How could you say it's organic?
The cleanest fish to eat is trout.
Right.
Trout one of the cleanest fish to eat. It's clean.
Man.
And it doesn't bottom feed.
Eat fish with scales.
Yep.
I tell my sister, she's like, "Oh, I eat fish." I said, "Yeah, but you eat mercury, you eat oil, everything in this ocean in LA is garbage fish."
You ain't lying. You don't eat that out of the LA Ocean, man. Yeah.
And I told her, she's like, "I eat fish. I don't eat fish." I said, "I eat fish. I will grow my own fish by throwing them in the water. Have a lake man-made, catch trout and salmon, and eat it right there and cut it myself and eat the scales. That's what the Africans do. They eat the scales, man. I've never seen a fish with a head. They eat it with the head on it.
Yeah, they do.
With the eyes and everything.
Yeah, the Asian community too. The Asian community too. They eat that fish.
I had a whole fish, and I said, I can eat that, man. It was so good. The whole fish was. Did they have meat? I said, dang, man, you people. I thought we some cats in the kitchen. Someone been disappeared, missing cats. It was 100% fish.
Javon, we got less than 10 minutes left, man. I want to ask you this question. Another something you brought up. And, and all of us are Black fathers.
Right.
What is that you want to point to share with the Black fathers of why it's so important for us to be in that child's life? I'm gonna tell you, I know that even though I had my dad was there intermittently, and I grew up with two different stepfathers, I always wanted my biological, like the natural child of me wanted my biological. No matter if my grandfather was there or my stepfathers. What do you want to say to the men? Because it's not just Black men; it's all of us. All nationalities deal with some of it. But what do you want to say?
Well, I tell you, and I'm telling you what was the lack, because I grew up with a lot of my friends that was always like, "Oh man, I ain't seeing my kid because the girl." No, you can't blame the girl because you mad and y'all broke up. They hold that against the woman so they don't go see their kids. And I said, that's wrong. I said, I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm going to be a part of my son's life, and mentally, physically. You got to be there all around, bro. Like my son always wanted me to be, and I was always there, bro. I took him to basketball. I took him to everything. Because his mom, she didn't take him about it. She worked all the time. She didn't know all about it. All she knew about working, she was a manager at Target. She still do that. People only know what they know. I always tell people, they stay in your lane. You know, Target, I don't know it. I know basketball. So he wanted to do it, and I told her to do it. She said, I can't do that. I said, the coach picked him up. You can't pick him up after practice. No, I'm tired. I'm not driving. So when he was younger, I said, okay, he can't play AAU because he's in Vegas. So what I did, I bought a house in Vegas. And she said, if you want to be with him, I'm not going to let him go to LA with you. So you got to step your game up. Dre will tell you, I was driving every week, got a house, put my brother in there to be there with him while I come every week. I was coming every week. Driving back and forth so I could make the money in LA bodyguard.
So
come on, man.
So what?
And try to make sure my son
I'll tell you right now.
Fill up the house with groceries.
Come on, man.
Javon,
you serious?
I witnessed all of that.
He witnessed all that.
All that.
Man. And people say, even my baby mama said, you crazy. Why are you driving every week back and forth to Vegas for your son? Why don't you just stay out? I said, because the money I cannot make in Vegas. But I'm about to pay my house note. And I let my brother stay in there for free. Just so he can be a male and take him to school. And show him male.
I'm going to say something to you.
Take care of this.
And doing all this while he had the kidney getting the dialysis, everything.
Right.
I tell you brothers now, you talking about that. I said, boy, I don't even tell them Javon business. That's a little man right there. It's a walking miracle. I ain't gonna tell you what a walking miracle is. But you still been talking about, man, I can't take these jobs. That's what Donjay did. The 6'8", he always complained about taking certain jobs. And me and Javon would tell him, dude, when God gives you something, you ought to say the man who sat on top of the roof and told God to save me from drowning, and he sent 3 boats, and you said no to all of them and drowned. That's exactly what he was doing. That's what Dondra's doing. Stop letting people drown you, bro. Don't say white people can't do it for you.
But you know, Javon, you said something again back to relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
The guys will, because they can't be with that woman, right? Because there's still that emotional connection that you ain't healed from that relationship being broken. Can't see her with somebody else. All that.
Now they don't want to see their kid. They gonna make her. Oh, I'm gonna make her mad. I ain't gonna give her no money. Now you're not taking care of your kid.
We don't.
You're not taking care of your kid. I don't care about her. You're not giving money to your kid, but you taking out her against your kid. Now you never see your kid. Why? Because she got a man.
Man.
That's the other side of it. That's the other side of it.
Right. And that's what happens where they break all fathers apart, and then the woman say, "Oh, the man ain't no good. We the one that raised the kids." And that's wrong. And I used to tell my baby mom all the time, "Don't do that." Like when I told her when I first had the baby, I was in Europe, right? I said, "Look, I'm gonna pay for everything. You ain't gotta pay for nothing. By the fact I move you and your daddy to Europe, no, I'm not gonna give him my life." Okay, I understand. Okay, so I paid everything, but she went to the city still. Told them my name. They called my mama. My mama, like some people here say he live out of country. So they said we can't do nothing because he live out of country. He don't live here. So they dropped the case. So I called back and I told her, "You still got this case open, and I'm paying you. You need to go." My sister said, "You need to go tell him Javon is paying you child support, and he been doing it since he was born." But she went and told him, and they dropped it out there. But you got to be real with the woman. You can't be mad at him. Because that's all they know. They know what the other girls do. Girl, go get money off him. You got a baby by him. That's what they think. So now the man don't want to take care of the kid, but you reverse that, like I did. I got a house when he was 9th grade. She gave him to me because she couldn't raise a man. He started walking back to her, and I told him, "You don't do that to your mama. I don't care what you mad at." So I went and grabbed him.
That natural fracture, though.
Right, 8th grade going to 9th. He stayed with me, and I showed him how to be a man. And he see that today. He like, "I love you, man. You know, you've been there for me all day." But that's what you got to teach a child, so when they can be a man and raise their kids. That's how it goes. But the cycle broke in the 70s with the crack cocaine, where they took the fathers out the house, bro. And then a woman took over, and then
she became the daddy and mama and the sister.
Government benefits, got them government benefits, and
and like now, it's sickening, man. I got nephews right now living off my sisters, which is their grandmothers. Don't want to work. And I said, "Why y'all hindering these kids?" This is the problem. This man is 26 years old. You know my nephew, David. He moved to Mississippi with her because he can't take care of stuff. No. While he out here, he paying the light, gas, and water. I said, "Dimples, he working a job.
Ain't no money.
I said he worked part-time at Lowe's. He want to spend his money on weed and alcohol. You shouldn't be paying for that. If that's what he want to do, then you should kick him out. But I wouldn't pay no rent, light, gas, and rent.
Nope.
You gotta be a man, bro.
It's dirt cheap out there.
But that's the problem. His daddy was never there. He never knew his daddy because my niece, the same thing, got mad at the man. And she moved from Texas to LA. And he got mad. Said, "That's not my kid, whatever. I never had to see him." And that's the cycle go through, man.
Bro, we got a lot of work to do, bro, because those are the things that we gotta help even men our age heal from.
Man.
The next generation children heal from. I got a grandson who's 6 years old. And so, we're looking at like, how do we bring this conversation?
And that's the point. We got to start young. We got to change while they 3, 2 years old, and put them in like private schools. Like that's what I'm trying to get, a non-profit private school where they can learn in the morning about the Bible and then go to school for the rest of the day. Because that's gonna help them, and that's gonna keep them from
oh my goodness
and stealing. And that's the problem. They raise.
We're working on right now, man. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
Right now we got the youth with the athletes.
It takes a family.
I got the number 1 9th grade in the nation right now.
Village.
And I'm helping him. He's from Compton, where I grew up at. Him and his sister. And whatever I do, I get the parents' money. I understand. I grew up in Compton with no money. Here,
Yeah.
y'all need money to go gas. Here go money for food. I don't trip because that's what we're supposed to do. Look out for each other.
Supposed to. Yes.
But black people, see, it's only one Javon.
Wow.
When he called me, I said, I need to come on the show. It's about mentors. You have a lot to add to it. That's why when he called me, let me tell you, it's not the Rolodex, it's the Rolex. It's not the Rolodex. It's the Rolodex we use.
Wow.
The Rolodex have all the connections. You can have all the Rolex you want.
He said he gonna create a school that they do the Bible in the
Morning.
first.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Teach
And then you go to your class. And you dress in
uniform.
Presentable.
Yeah.
Not hanging with sagging pants. You got to get checked before you go through the gate. Metal detectors. Real security. So it ain't going to be no shootings. Your child's going to be safe. And in the morning, I want to start 0 to 5, a daycare center, which is a school. So they learn from 0 to 5, and the parents can go to work. You ain't got to worry about, I need a babysitter.
No, we got a program called we implemented in Lancaster, Palmdale, called Beyond the Bell, and that's going to start before class.
See, that's very important because a lot of parents they leave their kids by themselves. They go to work, and then their kids learn by the streets. No, you in a real private school. And you going to school learning about the Bible, and you getting the top education. I want to get teachers from UST that quit or retired at UCLA to teach these high school kids.
Yeah.
Top of the line training, bro. And when they grow up, they're gonna be the next doctors, lawyers, the new generation. Like you said, we got to train the next generation.
Dre, who is this guy right here?
Now remember I told you I got Tyre.
Who is
and then
this
I had
guy
him.
right here?
So it's many more to come. I'm telling you,
my
There's many more coming in our team, man. That's why I tell you, God have him on earth for a reason. That's why I'm still here. I'm telling you why you still here. You are helping heal these soldiers, man, and he's helping hit the mental assets of our youth. The Gen X is what's destroying America,
bro.
The Gen X, his son won't have a chance to play NBA ball if we don't fix that gap right now.
Exactly.
We gotta fix that gap. Jealousy. Because soon as he started playing ball, here come a jealous dude. He knew when he was in the 5th grade. He thought he was all that. He's in the 7th grade. And then you want to go chase this man down, disrespect him. He ain't seen you since the 7th grade. Emotional fractures. Yeah. And then you want to chase him down because you have a heart attack. Because in the 7th grade, he stole your girlfriend. But you want to hold a vendetta. Now he's a ball player. You want to shoot at him. And you in jail like you shot a man because of in the 7th grade because some girl gave him some spaghetti. What is your problem, boy? So it's like judges looking at these kids nowadays. What is the matter with y'all?
Well, Javon, we got a conversation, and I challenge this guy. I went to the Holy Spirit because I was like, there's no I in team. There's no I in team, right? And you hear a lot of coaches say that. But what I say is there is an I in team, and the I is the interpersonal relationship that athlete has to have with himself first. See, we look at interpersonal relationship between us, but what about the intrapersonal relationship with that athlete or that soldier? How they talk to themselves, how they think about themselves, the shame, the embarrassment, the disappointment. They never dealt with the divorce that the parents went through because they got to go practice and play ball and play in this championship game, and so you never deal with those emotional states. How can I give myself away if I'm suffering in silence?
Exactly. You can't.
You can't.
On top of that, then some of these kids, they have pride. They got to let that pride and be humble.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That pride, even the Bible say, that's evil. You can't be having pride. You're supposed to be humble with yourself. Yeah. And that's how you start a team. You look yourself in your eye and go to the team. Everybody humble, and we plan together to win as brothers and win together. That's what it is. Simple, brother.
Any last words before we go, Javon, before we get out of here, man? Anything that you want to say?
Man, just a blessing evening speaking to you and Dre today. God, let me live some more days, man. I love you as my brothers, what y'all doing, man.
Man, thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you're feeling better, man. We'll talk later on, man. And I'm sorry I missed you and your son. Having these wives, man. I said I missed my little nephew out there, man. I wait to come out again. My wife, I said, look, I gotta go, man. I want to see my son, man. Cause I follow him. I said, who watching your back? He said, He said, you supposed to be here watching my back. What he told me. I said, he was eating at the table. I said, what's that Kool-Aid or great Kool-Aid? And we were talking back and forth, and he said he's over. I said, oh, it's healthy. I said, good, as long as it's healthy for the soul, it's good for me. Don't have me come out there. He said, where you at? He said, where you at? Yeah, like that, Cause I'm telling you, man, if Javon ain't around, I'm gonna be watching that kid. And I'll tell you right now, it's guardian angels, 7 foot tall archangels around that kid. That kid got a good head on the shoulder, and he loves it. And all because of that man right there.
We had Hammer and Nails on Saturday, and this young lady comes to do an interview with us. She talked about she been knowing him for 20 years, and he was babysitting her little son.
Yeah,
I was like,
man, why didn't you tell me, man?
I was like, what?
I wanted to go to that Hammer thing. He told me.
Oh no, man! I went to got a facial, man. I look like a $20 bill. Man.
Yeah, you look young. I see the video today. You got a facial.
Yeah, I was walking through there.
You see that video? See that video?
I was walking through there. But you know why? Let me tell you why. And it took me a year to why. If fans just remember, I do remember you now, Joe, on the phone 3 years earlier. Because I called, my buddy told me we were on a salon for men. And this Hammer thing, I said, Hammer, that sounds interesting. Now, I talked to a brother, which was the owner at the time. That's who it was. I said, I'm talking to him. Then he said, I have one for to come up in 2 years in Santa Monica. And then I talked to a guy named Feds Russell. I found an old number on Feds.
Wow.
So I knew the way we build relationships. That's why I tell people, keep being who you are, and God will always control you right. When you build that village, it's okay to hold on to the hammer and nails just in case.
Right.
Everybody can't keep a house steady. You gotta have hammer and nails somewhere, man. You gotta keep them somewhere. That's how I look at it, man. But I appreciate you, man, for coming out and doing this.
Javon, thank you, man. You were a pleasant surprise today, bro. I had no idea. There you go.
Surprise!
None of this, bro.
Surprise!
Yeah, he got me.
All right, brothers. Will y'all be safe?
We will, man. Bless you, man.
Thank you.
I'm praying for you, my brother. I'm praying for you.
Man, I appreciate you always.
Always praying away. All right.
I pray for you and your family too. Always. And then be at that wedding when you get married.
Oh, you gonna give us away? Who gives away? Javon say, man. Javon said he'll do it, man, but he's not here right now because he just so cold.
Now I'm gonna tell you one thing before I go. Why I love this brother. This man is a caring man. This man took care of a child of a lady that he used to like a lot. Yep. And she used to kind of use him because he was a babysitter.
Remember that? You remember that?
Yeah, take his money. And his sister used to tell him, I say, Dre, man, and you a good I understand. He was cool. He liked her, but he ain't stupid. Dre knows what's going on. Okay? So for him now to have a woman that really loves him, God put in his life, I'm happy for him, brother, because he always was looking for that one to have his second. You need that second woman behind you. That woman behind you. A good man has a good woman behind him. So that's what I always tell him, man. When he met her, man, she, and I seen he put his alcohol out now. I didn't know you got it back.
Yeah, it came back stronger than ever now. They got gin, they got rum, they got pineapple.
Now, I need to sit down and talk to you because I told you I'm doing the NBA All-Star Weekend. We're doing a podcast. Bring y'all on because I'm gonna have a different podcast.
I'm gonna take interview all the NBA players.
With Jim from Cali Strong. And then I'm doing the Reed thing in August. And then I'm doing the NFL because it's gonna be in LA too. We're doing a podcast. I need to know where a good venture we can rent out. You think I need to go look at some?
What area? All the areas.
I was thinking about for the All-Star Weekend.
I know we're doing something
right there in Inglewood. They got that place right
Epic Center. Epic Center is brand new.
Yeah, right there in Inglewood.
Yeah, Epic Center. Yeah, Epic Center.
That's a nice place. It's right across the street from the Clippers.
Yeah, I know her. I know her real well. It's Ty. So Ty Singleton is female. So I was talking to her about. I want to do NBA All-Star party during the day.
Because what are you doing Friday?
You know what I'm doing Friday?
I got invited. I got invited to a birthday party, which is a famous person. Gonna be some celebrities. I want you to go, man. I got plus me. So.
Okay. Well, I got Tiffany Haddish tomorrow night. I'm going to a private thing with Tiffany Haddish tomorrow night. I'm going red carpet. I got invited. So I'm wearing my all white with my
Right.
no. Let me tell you why I wear all white. I got these Snoop lavender shoes, these slip-ons, and I got a shirt to match that. So I got to rock that.
Lavender and white.
Man, it's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait. So I'm letting them know, man. You represent. I'm gonna represent my people because I'm royalty, man. God got me royalty, man. What I am, man. I'm God.
All right, brother.
Angels, man.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna hook up with you tonight. Call me tonight.
Okay, I'll call you tonight.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank
you. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, blessings, man. Talk
Bless
to you
you.
soon. All right.
Yeah.
Later, man.
All right. All right. Well, this is the end of the Farron Dozier Show on MB Radio. I hope you enjoyed that. We didn't take really too much breaks. Conversation was just too good. So again, back next Wednesday. Catch me Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific time on KCA Radio Wordplay segment. We talk about rain. What does the rain mean to you? I got some songs too connected to the rain. So check us out over there, the Farron Dozier Show at Farron Dozier on all platforms. If you want to hit me up about what I'm up in the community, hit me up at farrond.com. You'll find everything over there. All right. I appreciate y'all. Play this PSA for my veterans. And then we out of here. Shout us out. What's the count?
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. 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 Do you remember studying sickle cell in biology class? What's the Count on Sickle Cell Trait Prevention is here to bring you awareness, education, and prevention conversations around the risk factors of this inherited gene. Visit wdconsct.org. Tune in to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCARadio.com website on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Brought to you by Sports Collective TV, Sports Collective Radio, and Sports Collective Media. We got the Heme Factor, we got In the Zone, and we got Fourth Down and the 20-second Timeout Sports segment. All for you right here on the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCARadio.com website with my guest hosts Robert Lamar and Coach Will. Catch us on Sports Collective Media on Instagram and Facebook. And make sure you watch us Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCARadio.com website. Music, talk, sports, and so much more on the Farron Dozier Show. This is Farron from the Farron Dozier Show, 8 p.m. Pacific Time on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA.com website, the station that leaves no listener behind, and MBR Radio. That's right, MBR Radio on all their streaming platforms, including MBR Radio on Roku TV, Sunday nights live, 8 p.m. Pacific Time on KCAA Radio and MBRradio.us. The Farron Dozier Show. For more information, search farrond.com.
Muchos de nosotros nos vemos afectados por la enfermedad de células falciformes a diario y un número creciente simplemente no nos damos cuenta. Los impactos de esta enfermedad afectan a todas las personas y en especialmente a las personas de color y con antecedentes diversos. Estar en servicio conmigo y con los demás a medida que creamos una mayor conciencia sobre cómo identificar y dirigir el tratamiento de los rasgos de células falciformes y ayudar a las familias a saber cómo superar el trastorno de células falciformes. WDCONS
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh,
too,
man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn, are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. Do you know the fact that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.